Welcome back, everybody, to another Voice in the Void. Got you, host here, Brandon, as always. And today I got another special guest for you guys, Mr. Nelson.
Hey,
Uh, so go do. You can introduce yourself in any type of way. And well, while you're at it, you can just tell us about yourself.
awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
What's there?
My name is Nelson Seda. I'm from the Bronx, New York City. I'm a millennial. Um, I am a Christian. I've been one for 9 years. Um, was not raised one. I was raised like the average American, actually. We believe Jesus is God, and that's about it.
Hmm.
And don't really do nothing with it. I've always believed in a higher power, but never really read a Bible or nothing like that. In my mid 20s, really from high school to my mid 20s, about 10 years of my life, I was in hip hop culture. I'm an ex breakdancer or b-boy, graffiti writer. I did art illegally and legally, from murals to custom commissioned art, even curated gallery exhibitions, and had my work in other countries, actually, from Japan
Okay,
all the way to the United States. Um,
that's really cool.
Yeah, I've had a interesting experience with art. I rap. I still rap today in English and Spanish, but I'm not fluent. I'm what you call a no sabo kid, which is when Spanish
Uh-huh.
people are like third, fourth generation Americans and they don't know Spanish.
So would that be kind of what they say, the Spanglish?
The Spanglish, yeah. I was taught words like simple stuff like just food names growing up, and gracias, which is thank you, and de nada.
Yeah.
It's funny because
Yeah.
I had Spanish in high school, and I was one of the few Spanish kids in a New York City high school who didn't know Spanish. Um, but I love my roots and culture with all that. I was a part of an organization called the Universal Zulu Nation. They started in 1973. My dad used to be a gang member in the South Bronx when that organization was created. Basically, it joined a bunch of gang members and they created hip hop culture. Um, Hip hop culture consists of all these different creative expressions of b-boying, DJing, graffiti, rap, and what they call knowledge of self, the fifth element. So in
Mhm.
with knowledge of self in this organization called Zulu Nation, I was basically indoctrinated with a bunch of different ideologies, philosophies, and spiritualities that come from other organizations that predated or came out around the same time.
Mhm.
Organizations like the Nation of Islam, which is most known for like Malcolm X and stuff in the 60s. Um,
Okay.
the Nuwabian movement that was led by a guy named Malachi Z. York. It's basically a UFO space religion.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
the Nation of Gods and Earths, which is an offshoot of the Nation of Islam. It's like a
Mhm.
branch that came out of it. It was in Harlem in around the same time as the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
And Rastafari, which is some stuff they also indoctrinated me with. That's a belief system that goes back to Jamaica, and they worship
Okay.
an Ethiopian king named Haile Selassie. They believed he was the second coming of Jesus. Yet he has radio
Oh,
interviews
okay.
saying, "I'm not Jesus, don't worship me." And they believe in smoking weed and getting high as this guy. Um, a bunch of stuff like that is what they basically were teaching me in hip hop culture. I did that for like 10 years. I was comfortable with my life. I was happy. I believed I was okay. I was straight edge. I have no history of smoking, drinking, popping pills. I wasn't a gang member, murderer, or rapist or nothing like that. So by the world's standards, I was a decent guy. Um, One day I came home late from like the club or something. Um,
Mhm.
Felt a presence in my room. Like you ever been in your room and you feel like you're being looked at and no one's there?
Yeah, and it's almost like you're looking straight and you see something out of the corner of your eye.
Yeah, like in your peripheral. Exactly. So
Yeah.
I basically couldn't sleep and I felt like I was being watched. I went to the
Mhm.
living room when the sun came up. Me and my dad were in the living room and I heard an audible growl in my ear. We had no pets.
Mm.
There was no animal. My
Okay.
dad didn't hear it. I freaked out. And then it happened again a few seconds later. I did what any Puerto Rican young man would do. I ran out the apartment.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
I ran from one train station to the next, which in New York City, that could be a couple blocks. Um,
Yeah.
Easily 2 to 3 minute run. I wasn't looking at cars. I could have got hit by a car. It was crazy. Came back
Mhm.
into the apartment. I calmed down. My mom gave me two witchcraft books from a
Mhm.
religion called Santeria. It's a religion that's from the
Okay.
Caribbean islands. It goes back to West Africa.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Now,
That's I remember that one.
I didn't know why we had those books. My family is not a witchcraft family.
Yeah.
But I read these books and it was prayers. So every religion actually has prayer books. People don't know that. And as I read these prayer books, it was prayers to Jesus, prayers to angels, prayers to saints, prayers to these African deities, and a whole bunch of other stuff. As I started praying it, I basically started to hear things and see things. So it was a harsh reality check. While I was awake, I was seeing transparent figures like the Predator movies or the Capri Sun commercials from the 90s and early 2000s.
Okay.
Imagine seeing a transparent figure, but it's in the silhouette shape of a man,
Mhm.
torso, head, arm, legs, but you can't make facial distinction of features. It's just a torso, it's invisible, it's 3D, and it's around you in your apartment for like a week. I also saw shadow figures, which were also 3D. Like you can see through both of them, but at the same time, you
Mhm.
can see that this is a shadow one and this is a transparent one. The shadow figures had like a darkness or evil emanating from them. It's really hard for me to
Mhm.
describe this with language. I can't articulate
Yeah, I
entirely my
understand what you're
experience.
saying, though. I've been in the same I've had those experiences personally as well.
There's um
Uh,
there's a
yeah.
famous rapper, Prodigy, from the rap group Mobb Deep. Before
Yep.
he died, in the mid 2000s, he did an interview with like I think Vice magazine or some interview he did, and he was sharing about how he
Mhm.
saw shadow figures. This is actually a very common thing all across the world.
Mhm.
Um, People experience supernatural stuff, phenomena, right, all the time, and what they
Yeah.
do with it is interesting. Sometimes they do nothing; they go on about with their life. My experience, what
Mhm.
makes it different, is I experienced this for like a week, and then towards the end of
Yeah.
the week, I went to a Catholic church with my mom.
Mhm.
And I'm not a practicing Catholic. I have no background in that. We were praying in the back, and basically I saw another vision while I was awake. Again, not under the influence of drugs or pills. I am not diagnosed with any medical condition of seeing.
And if you talk to people about it, that's exactly what they're gonna ask is, "Were you high? Were you drunk? Did you take this? Did you take that?"
Exactly.
And yeah.
And I was not having my own mental experience like the Dora the Explorer film or the Barney Kids TV show where they say, have you ever seen those those videos about a Barney and we realized he was imaginary, but we didn't know.
Yeah. Yep.
They made Dora the Explorer in the live action film they did of her. They made her like schizophrenic, where she's
Yeah, I know,
feeling things
I
that are
seen
not there.
that. I was laughing really hard. We seen I think it was, like, the first 15 minutes of it, and all I could do with that is really laugh because everyone's trying to figure out where the hell she's talking to.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
but that definitely was not the case. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
saw this figure in this Catholic church. It was a woman with a golden crown that looked literally like something I saw in the Santeria prayer books. I thought
Mhm.
I have no knowledge of the Bible, no working knowledge of it. I'm like, okay, I saw Mary. And I gave my life to Jesus. I asked him if he would let me stop seeing stuff. I will give him my life. And he did. And I didn't know what that fully looked like, but I knew I had to stop going to the clubs. I
Yep.
knew that I had to stop living a certain way. That I had a knowing of, but I didn't really know fully that what it meant to surrender and live for Jesus. Um, Over the process of like a couple weeks or months, I ended up getting my first Bible. I was so happy to buy it. And I don't think I've ever been happy to buy a book in my life other than that. Um, I read it, and then I realized there's something you may have heard of this. Have you ever heard of a Catholic catechism?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so a catechism is basically a book of what their beliefs, of what they actually believe doctrine wise, what they teach
Okay.
systematically to people who decide to be members of that organization. And as I read the Bible, I realized what they teach in the Catholic catechism is not the same thing. It's actually a whole separate
Right.
religion, even though they use a Bible. And there's a lot of organizations like this where they use a Bible, but the things that they actually teach are not,
Yeah.
they're not actually in line with the Bible. So I just
Right.
decided at that point to just follow Jesus. Like a year and a half later, August 2018, I was already
Mhm.
preaching on the streets in New York City. I was the guy who was preaching on the train when people just wanted to go to work or go home after work. I was that guy.
You're the guy they all called crazy on the side of the road, huh?
Exactly. I was the guy who would go and have a big poster sign at local events, local like LGBTQ pride event, mermaid event in Coney Island, stuff like this. I would
Mhm.
go with other people and tell people about Jesus, not to belittle others, not to mock them, not to make them feel humiliated or anything, just to tell them, hey, the Bible's real, Jesus is real, he loves you, turn from your sin. And some people don't go about that the wrong way.
Mhm.
But I was doing that, and I went to a conference in Atlanta, Georgia, a Christian conference. So in Christianity, they have like these events, churches do. And sometimes they'll have guest speakers or they'll have a particular topic they're talking about. And they'll have like
Yeah.
2, 3 day events. And that's usually what these conferences are. I went to this conference to get baptized in water. And
Okay.
that's why I went there. And at the like day two, before I was gonna leave on day three in the morning, it was like in the end of the night. Everyone, it was at a campsite, and I didn't plan this. No one planned it. Basically, I experienced what's called deliverance. So if you look online, or you probably heard of this word, exorcism. Have you ever heard of an exorcism?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's basically what deliverance is. It's an exorcism. Demons are being casted out of people. Now it's not um like the movie The Exorcist from back in the day, that franchise film. It's not like that at all. Real life is different.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like, you know, Hollywood portrays everything to be um harsher for the most part because they want the viewership and the screen time.
Exactly.
But if they played it out how it actually is, it would actually have nothing,
It's
not
not
as
as radical.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as crazy as what they play it out to be.
Now I've heard stories. I don't know if this is true. I've heard stories of people who do deliverance and people have in a
Mhm.
session where like climbing on walls and stuff. I do deliverance. I've never experienced that happening with someone. Um,
There's one that I actually just seen the video, and it throws you for a loop because you're trying to figure out
e-
if it's AI or not now.
exactly. Yeah. You're like, is this real? Are they faking? And
Mhm.
these are valid questions to ask. Um,
Yeah.
I would recommend to anyone watching or listening, or even yourself, you can look up someone called Lester Sumrall in like the 1980s or 70s. It's documented. He went to the Philippines. There was a young like prostitute girl. She was like in her late teens or early 20s. She was having demonic oppression.
Who is it? Say the name one more time for me, please.
Lester, Lester, Sumrall, Sumral. He's not alive no more. I believe he died. But in like the 70s or 80s, something like that, he went to the Philippines, and basically this woman was in a jail because she was so violent, and it wasn't not like just normal, like there was something spiritual going on. She was having demonic oppression, and
Mhm.
none of the local Catholic churches could help her. None of the local doctors can help her. And this
Mm.
guy, Lester Sumrall, was there and he did deliverance on her. It's documented. Um,
Okay.
there are medical miracles even documented in the Harvard Journal. There's people like John G. Lake from Seattle, Washington. In the
Yeah.
late 1800s, he was having what's called healing rooms. And basically, people were getting healed by a guy who had no medical license. It was
Mhm.
supernatural healings in the name of Jesus. This is modern documented stuff. um, just because stuff is documented doesn't mean it's real, but it's worth considering,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Uh-huh.
but
Because
anyway,
for one, you can't prove it. You
exactly. We
can't
we
prove it for
can't prove stuff
basically.
either way. Um,
Yep.
there's a people can go in a court of law, right? And they can
Mhm.
fake a testimony.
Yeah.
They can fake a witness. People
Mhm.
make up stories all the time. Sometimes
And unfortunately, people get bought out for a lot of the
ex-
different
exactly,
proofs.
like when it comes to spiritual things, a lot of it is
Yeah.
people go based off their personal experience because that's the best thing you could trust.
Mhm.
But the Bible does say we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Some fun facts: the Bible is banned in a bunch of countries, whereas other spiritual books are not.
Mhm.
Some other fun facts: there are places in the world right now, if they simply find out you're a Christian, they will kill you. There's not going to be a conversation of, oh, this is not real. Like, they will kill you.
Weren't they having issues in South Africa?
It
Or
it's in parts of Africa, like in Nigeria. Um, I believe it's West Nigeria or North Nigeria. You can look it up online. It's verified. They're slaughtering people by the thousands. They're just going into villages and just killing people with like AKs. Um, and it's what you would call radical Muslims, but they're really not radical. They just follow the teachings of the Quran and the Hadiths. The Hadiths are
Mhm.
writings of the sayings of Muhammad, and the Quran is basically at different stages
There's
of
52 countries that banned
the Bible.
Bibles completely.
Exactly. Like if a book is make believe, and if this is
Mhm.
not real, just don't believe it. Why would you ban?
Right. Yeah, why do you have to ban it if
It
there's
makes no sense.
any type of fakeness to it as they try to
Yeah,
say on it? That's crazy. I knew there was some, but I didn't know there was that many. That's kind of a lot. Like
yeah.
what that's about a sixth of the countries in the world, right?
It's a big population of the planet. What we take for
Yeah, because it
granted.
says there's severe restrictions on owning, importing, or distributing the Bibles.
I want you to think about this. There's someone right now in Asia, in
Mhm.
China, in Africa, the Middle East. They're literally
Right.
smuggling Bibles to give it to some people who they don't know. They can be killed and arrested.
Mhm.
If something is make believe, would you go through all of that?
Right.
Like, what do
Well,
you get out
for
of it?
one, if something's make believe, then why is there such a harsh rule against it?
Even in the Roman Empire,
Mm.
you can look this up. There's a woman named Perpetua. She was in Carnage or I forget the name right now. She was in Northeast Africa. Um, she was basically killed, along with many people back then, for professing believing in Jesus as God. Under the Roman Empire, they were taught that the emperor or Caesar, that he was
Mhm.
part God, part man, and to follow basically the gods that came from the Greeks, like Zeus and all these other gods.
Yeah.
And if you didn't follow that, you were considered like a rebel to the state. So Nero, the Caesar Nero, he burned Christians alive in the Colosseum in Rome.
Huh.
Um, he lit up the sky with burnt bodies all across Rome. This woman, Perpetua, and others were murdered for simply saying Jesus is God. And like, this is not normal. It's one thing to just say, hey, you're crazy. I don't believe in
Right.
what you believe. This is a whole different thing where they say, this is a problem that we have to kill you. That's not normal.
Well, it was also different back in the days, but unfortunately, there's a lot of countries following the same rule,
Yeah.
and it's insane.
Yeah. But back to my story. So, like, like 40 minutes, I had this deliverance session or this exorcism, you could
Mhm.
say. And these demons were casted out of me. The way deliverance works, like I said, it's not like the Exorcist movie. You're basically praying that you repent of certain things. To repent means to change your
Yeah.
mind and to turn from it, and that you renounce it, meaning that you're verbally saying, I don't believe in this no more. I don't agree with this no more. So I had to
Right.
renounce graffiti, Zulu Nation. I had to dance demons out that I danced in, which is a really interesting concept because all across the world, indigenous people in every culture, they have gods that they worship, deities, and they offer
Mhm.
up dance, music, and art. This is why when you go visit somewhere or if you learn about someone's cultural background, they can be from
Yeah.
anywhere. They could be from Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Puerto Rico, China, the Philippines, Cambodia, every culture, they have songs to their deities. They have artwork offered up
Yeah.
to their deities. Christianity is no different. We offer it up to Jesus. We don't offer it up to other deities. So in this deliverance session, I had to repent of offering up something to other deities or to myself as
Yeah.
self glorification. So I have a very interesting, different story. It's not common. I did not get saved in a church. I was not raised in Christianity. I like to think I'm a very level headed person. I don't just believe in Christianity because I'm American
Yeah.
or born in the West, because I wasn't a Christian to the age of like 26, 27. So that says a lot, And like I said, I thought
Yeah.
I was a good guy. Why would I need to follow Jesus and give my life to Jesus if I'm just not, I'm not a murderer. God sees me
Mhm.
as a good person. So I thought,
Right.
you know? So that's my story. It's
Well,
a mouthful,
hey,
but that's my story.
uh, everyone's story tends to be, so to speak, they have their own links. You understand what I'm saying? They have their own links to each story that is actually available. Because I mean, mine's kind of on what I would say basic. Like, I grew up in a pretty decentish home. I mean, my mom and dad got divorced. My mom, uh, I love my mom. I'm not talking negative on her by any means, but she, at one point, she went from guy to guy. Then she got married. They divorced, went guy to guy again, and now she settled down again. But um, she had a hard time working, keeping food in the house unless my dad was paying child support. And, it's just kind of how it happens. And, after so long, you find out more news like my dad, he he's not my biological dad.
Oh,
I found that out when I was very young. But I never looked at him any different because he's still my dad. He raised me.
awesome.
Um Which I guess a lot of people would go through a change of emotions, I guess a lot of people have, but I don't look at it that way. I look at it as I had a dad. He might not have been my blood dad, but I had a dad.
There you go.
Because, you know, they say blood is thicker than water, but there's also times you can't trust the blood because it could be spoiled.
Yeah,
So I have a lot of people in my life that are not blood to me by any means, that I trust them a lot more than I trust, or I would put my life in certain people's hands before I put my life in my own family's hands.
that makes sense.
Um, and it's solely because they've proven nonstop to be there for me, to help me, to have my back, get me through all the hard times I was in. And yeah, I mean, my life was nothing compared to a couple of my cousins, which, again, everyone has their own rough patch. So, and it's solely out of love that I'm saying this because I love my family. Sure, I love my space. Hence, I moved a day away from everybody. But that was also to help clear my own head.
Yeah.
And it's worked. I'm in a better position today than I was 3 years ago. I'm in a better position today than I was 5 years ago. A lot of people, they're not aware of this. One of the biggest notions for moving, why I was so with it, because I tried to convince my wife to move for like 11 years. She didn't want to do it. I was like, all right, cool. Whatever, I'll stay here, I'll deal with it. And when she brought up to me about moving down here, first off, what kind of fool would I be for trying to convince her for so long to move down this way, to not move here when she finally brings it to me? That'd be dumb on my part.
Yeah.
But it just so happened not too long before that, I had made a personal plan. In June of 2026, I was going to take my own life. I had it in my calendar. I noticed I wasn't going anywheres in my life, and that was when I was in Michigan still. So we moved, my life got progressively better, and I have no hate for it. I, it might be bad to say because I don't hate people, but I have hate for two people. And I would say three, but the other one's kind of whatever. But I have hate for two people, and it's solely for things that had happened years ago. And that's unfortunately things I don't think I'll ever personally be able to let go. I haven't yet. I can't get that out of my head. Um, but moving down here, it saved my life. And I tell my wife that every few days. It's like, you saved my life by bringing this to me.
Wow.
You are the reason my life has gotten better. She's always been my rock. She's always smacked me in the back of the head whenever I've needed it. And trust me, I've needed it. um, but my life it's had, as I would say, drastic changes. From the age of 4, 5, which I remember a lot that people tell me that it doesn't happen, but then I talk to other people and they say it did happen. That's one of the things a lot of people don't talk about no more.
Mm.
They don't want you to remember certain things, which is it's fine. I get it because it wasn't good things. And I have managed to clear my head of resentment for the most part to almost everybody. I truly only hold resentment for a few people. And again, the hatred, that's a different story. That's a whole different subject for my part. Um, but it's one of those things, they did something that's very much so unforgiving. Um, it it's a hard path, and it's hard to talk about the reasons why I hate them. Is why I won't go into it because no, I don't want people to see me start tearing up. That it don't look pretty when a fat guy cries. um, but
I understand.
I I've learned to love. I've learned to love with all of me again, which is a different story. Again, took a few slaps in the back of the head from the wife. Took her to tell me, "Hey, this isn't how you should be." And it took her years of telling me that. But I finally accepted the fact that the change is what I truly needed. And hence, we're living a much better life now. I'm not saying I'm not rich. I wish I was, but I'm not. We're not living this lifestyle that a lot of people wish they were. Not by any means.
Yeah.
I'm I am at peace. We're in a nicer area than we've ever been before. We're progressing as time goes on. We're building a better lifestyle for the family, me, her, and our 3 kids.
Awesome.
So, oh, 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a cat. Um, but we have both accepted the different change. We've accepted the fact that moving away from everything, unfortunately, is what took for us to be able to fully be happy again. Because neither of us were the happiest where we were. Like I wasn't doing good. It's solely my fault, and I know that in with us. But it's a different story. It's one of the things like I was in a small town, nothing was happening for me, couldn't do anything.
Mm,
I wasn't making the right changes, and every time I tried, something happened. So I was stuck in a place where I was solely unhappy, and I was taking it out on the family, not physically, not mentally,
yeah.
or I guess in a way mentally, because I wasn't. I was there, but I wasn't there, and the last month of us living up there, that's when I finally started clearing my head. I was like, okay, we're moving away. I need to get all this stuff cleared so I don't bring it with me
It's wise.
because my family deserve much better than what I've given them in the past. So I don't want them to have that same weight or me carry that weight with me and then project it to them even more. So it took change, but the change was good. A lot of people they look at it like it was bad because we moved so far away from everybody, but it helped. That's what a lot of people aren't understanding is it helped. And that's what you want in life. You don't want to stay in the same boat. First off, do you have kids?
Not yet, but I pray one day. And I'm
So
definitely touched by your story. Not to interrupt, but like it's so powerful that you were gonna take your life. You know, there's someone probably listening or watching who's going through that. It's
mhm,
on their calendar.
uh-huh,
And God will use a loved one and a change of an environment to say, hey,
uh-huh,
now your life is special. It means something. It's not done. Your
right.
story is not done. I'm very touched
Well,
that you're open to sharing that. That's humbling.
yeah, it's one of those experiences, like, and hence this voice in the void. It's for getting stories out. And sure, I've talked about this before. I've made uh well, I marked on it before, I guess I should say, but I never actually went to it. Um, but it's truly what it is. I needed a change in my life so I can change myself.
Yeah.
But being in the same hole I was in, it wasn't allowing me to get out of the headspace. And about a little over 2 years ago, because 'cause we've been down in Texas for about 2 years now. When we lived in Michigan, all I was doing outside of working all the time, and barely all the time because I was going job to job, I wasn't holding jobs for nothing.
Got you.
But, um but I was buying weed all the time, I was buying wax to get that extra high because I had been smoking so long, so I wasn't getting high enough, and it's how I was able to deal with everybody.
Yeah.
Like, in my own way, I had to be high to deal with people. And I went from working, sitting in my shed, smoking all the time, going into the house and eat dinner, go back out, smoke again before I go to bed. That was my life.
Wow.
Like I'd smoke before work, after dinner, and if I woke up in the middle of the night, I went out and smoked again.
Wow.
I w- I was high all the time, and I stopped. Like, and it was what people say. Oh, you do all this, you quit like that from alcohol, from weed, from all this other stuff. You get a sense of uh, I can't think of the word, but a withdrawal.
Yeah,
And I was like, well, I'll find out because I just stopped doing everything. I stopped drinking as much as I was. I do drink a little bit here and there, but I don't drink near as much as I used to. And it's one of those things when I'm just relaxing. I have me a little glass. I sit there, watch TV, whatever it might be. But I found the peace in myself that I've needed for so long that I was able to spread it to my kids are doing better in school down here for the most part. My wife's doing better down here. Our relationship has grown where up there our relationship was coming to an end pretty quick, a lot faster than we expected. But we decided that when more or less when I said yes, let's do it, it was like a flip in our relationship.
that's interesting.
And because I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah,
So it was like me in my head all the time because of being depressed as much as I was being uh if I was going around a group of people I had to be high because I couldn't deal with them sober
hmm,
because I would get back in my head, get depressed again. And I found a way to get away, which is getting high. Then I stopped. My head started clearing itself. Because maybe it was the move, maybe it was the excitement from being able to move to get away from everything I know, which is unfortunate. Two of my best friends are up there in Michigan. I miss them. It might sound bad, but I kind of miss them more than the rest of my family. But I wouldn't move back if the world was ending. Like it's I have the peace here. I have peace I've never had
it's good.
here in this down here where I'm at. And my wife talks about going to church all the time to go do all this different stuff, and that's one thing I still can't get myself to do is go to church. I was like, I'll take you guys. I have no problem taking you guys, but personally, I can't go. It's a personal thing, but I was like, I can take you guys, and you guys talk to me about it when you get in the car. Maybe eventually I'll change my mind, but that's just where it's at for me. It's not, as I say, it's not in the books for me to do that yet.
I understand. I didn't go to
Um,
church until I was an adult, like with an
hey,
actual
I'm
like passion
31.
to do it.
I, I went to church the majority of my life. It felt like on and off at least. I can't get myself to go again. I went to a church which kind of ruined a lot of it for me. I can't lie because they were giving like gifts and stuff out, rewards for the knowledge of certain things.
Okay,
Like if you could recite certain things out of the Bible or something like that, they were giving you prizes. I was like, all right, I get it. It's a way to help teach people, but I don't agree with that. Like that's not what it should be. So when I went there after so long, I decided I didn't want to go anymore.
that's fine.
And it just changed that thought in my head, you know what I mean? So,
I
here I
I
am.
agree, mind
Uh
you, that having any faith is not about a consolation prize.
mhm.
There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with showing that kindness, especially to like children, like that would be
yeah,
excited about learning. Um, Going to church means nothing if someone's not even saved.
mhm.
You can be inside of a garage; it doesn't make you a car.
That's where I'm at right now.
you know, um, for me, I didn't change until I read the Bible. Because going to church would mean absolutely nothing if I didn't spend time in the Bible. Because the Bible is a
Right.
mirror. When you read it, it's showing you who you are. Really, you're gonna get offended when you read it. You're gonna get mad. You're gonna see yourself in the stories, the good, the bad, and the ugly. and you're gonna
Mhm.
realize, God has a standard, one,
Right.
and we don't always agree with it, and that's okay. You have to be able to really process that. No matter what, at the end of the day, even if someone's not a Christian, I still love them. I still respect them. I still treat them as I would want anyone to treat my loved ones.
Mhm.
I'm a firm believer in that. You don't have to believe in what I believe to be treated with respect. You
Right.
don't have to believe in what I believe to be treated kindly. Um,
Mhm.
but we live in a crazy world, man. I'm glad that you moved. Someone needed to hear that. Someone has to move. They have to leave their city to get the peace that they need. And really, it's God. God is giving them that nudge. Like
Mhm.
He'll use a loved one. Someone is probably listening and they love to get high too. And maybe God is saying, hey, you need to stop. This is destroying you. It's self destructive. Not only that, like you're
Mhm.
wasting money. Not only
Yeah.
that, it's not prioritizing the right things,
Oh boy,
especially if
I
you're a
wasted a
parent.
lot of money. I can tell you what,
Yeah.
if I would have saved that money, I'd have a lot more right now. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. I get it.
Um, but yeah, I mean, there's people they need to hear certain things, and again, that's where this comes in. They can hear your testament to it. Um, they can know that you can make the proper change in yourself while following God, while following along your own path and making that change.
Yeah.
Like you can do it. That's all you need to do. You can do it. Talk with somebody. Shit, talk with you because you're very open to conversations. Talk to me. I'm very open to conversations. We're both willing to hear different
Yeah.
perspectives. There's an open dialogue anywhere you go, and there's plenty more people that I'm sure anybody can reach out to.
Exactly.
And you gotta find the love. And it's not about what you're told, it's how you're told.
Yes.
Because you can have your closest family or friends be telling you what you want to hear, but that's not what you need to hear.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people, they won't acknowledge that part until it's too late, unfortunately. So, a lot of times they do find out when it's late. Um, One way to find out.
Yeah.
Uh, So, yeah, I did see you had a link tree.
It's
Um,
a lot going on there.
there's quite a bit going on. So, if you don't mind, I can actually share it to this,
Yeah.
um, and help people kind of see, like,
Yeah. I got a
that.
lot. I'm planting a church here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Planting a church means I'm basically starting it from nothing. That's what the church tab is about. I do music. Like I said, I rap in English and Spanish, Christian music. I'm not looking for a record deal or nothing. I just make good music. That's all. um, I
And so, just a question on your page, is that your song?
yeah, the
That video?
mm-hmm,
That's you?
yeah,
Okay, if you don't mind, I can always show that here in just a second too.
yeah, that'd be cool. I'm also an author. I got books online. I'm working on my seventh book. I started writing in 2021, and
Okay.
it's been a fun journey. I have a few poetry books. I just released a poetry book this May. Um,
Well,
I do visual art. I do murals and
uh,
stuff. A whole bunch of more.
there you go. Hope I'm. uh, it's each of these correct?
Yeah, all of those are correct.
All right. I'm not sure. Are these ones as well or no?
Everything there.
Yep. All right. I see your name there. Okay. I was like, I don't want to show other people's stuff just in for that privacy side, but
No, no, yeah,
yeah, I
it's
mean,
all my stuff, everything that's there.
go check these out. They're not badly priced, so you can definitely afford to read them. And yeah, find one that fits your goal and your thought process.
There you go.
Um, let's see. Well, then also um I did see that one video. I don't know if it'll necessarily let me play it,
Okay.
but I can always do uh a small viewing of it, I guess, to try to get that. I don't know if it's in the gym, right? In the ring.
Yeah, yeah. It's a music
Okay.
video I did. It's filmed right here
Okay.
locally in Fort Wayne, Indiana,
Okay.
which is not far from Michigan, mind you.
No, it's not.
I've never been to
Um,
Michigan yet. I would like to go one day because
Listen
I've
to him.
always yeah,
AKA when
that's the song.
he shall back from sin so we can rest in the bosom of the Lamb of God and the high priest. And the high priest. And the high priest. Oíste, el Dios que responda por fuego. And there's no competition explicit.
all right. I think I was about to replay again.
So yeah, it's a little clip promoting the music video
Yeah.
coming out in July. I've been rapping for
Oh,
years.
so it's not out
It's
yet
not out
either.
yet. It's coming out July. I filmed
So people got to be prepared.
That's right. I filmed 2 videos in Fort Wayne this year, this calendar year, and
Okay.
they're gonna both come out in July.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's cool, dude. I'm hoping nothing but the best with it. Uh, obviously, like it seems pretty good. I listened to it, but I don't understand Spanish,
That's okay.
so I'm
It's all
I'm just
about vibe.
listening to the beat. Just gotta listen to the beat. Um, yeah, check out. You have a podcast, correct? Was that the name of your podcast in the link tree?
Yeah, my podcast, it's on Spotify, and I also share the episodes on my YouTube channel, which is on my link tree. And basically, I do one of 2 things. So sometimes I just do a Bible study. We just read a
Mm,
chapter of the Bible, and I explain the actual content and context and all that. And then what I do other times is I just share other people's stories who are Christian of how they came to the
mhm.
faith and some of the stuff that they came out of in their past. I've
Yeah.
shared stories of people who used to be Rastafari, people who used to be witches, people who used to be in Freemasonry. Even recently, I shared a guy's testimony. He was in a fraternity and he was in Freemasonry for years. Um, there's a bunch of stories like, and the reason why I do that is just to encourage people. Like, hey, Bible's real. Jesus is God. He loves you, and you have the choice. You have free will to change your life and give it to Him, and He'll help you every step of the way. It's not about behavior modification. It's not about looking at it as a list of rules. It's
Yeah.
it's more just relationship with Jesus. What I mean by that is spend time with Him reading the Bible, and He's going to change your thought process to His thought process. And yeah, if you could receive that, cool. If not, I still love you. It's
Mhm.
still love and respect, and I'm still going to treat you as I should treat anyone with dignity and honor.
Yep. That's cool, man. Again, I wish nothing but the best for it. I did subscribe to your channel, your YouTube.
Thank
I
you.
showed that here as well. Um, if you want to shout anything out, you go ahead. Now's I guess, the perfect time for it.
Perfect. Yeah.
Um,
I want to shout
yeah.
out all the hardworking single parents. You're not alone. Jesus will provide for you. Trust him as he works it out. Um, be strong for your kids, and you make the world of a difference because sometimes you have to play mom and dad. Whether you're a single dad or a single mom, you're appreciated and you're no less than.
Yeah. I love that. I like that. Um, thank you again for joining me. Uh, That's it, everybody. Bye.